Hi, it's Anne here, and welcome to my monthly buys and buys video. So this is the video where I go over what I purchased last month versus what I said goodbye to. And this month we're going to do it a little differently because a lot happened in November. I brought a lot in, so I feel like I need to split this video up. So we're going to do the buys, like the purchases first, and then I'll do a second video with the good buys. Also, if I sound a little funny, I'm sick. Again, I'm more angry than anything else at the moment. So yeah, I did get COVID in November, and I worked from home for like 2 weeks. Then I went back to work for a few days, and like by the third day in, I was like, I don't feel good. And I thought I was just getting a cold based on the symptoms. But then people kept asking me like, oh, did you get rebound COVID? And I'm like, what are they talking about? So I Googled it, and apparently it's a thing. So I think that's what happened. And I don't know if I just did it to myself because I pushed too hard that third week when I went back to work. And like I did a workout and I like destroyed my legs. And I couldn't walk for like 2 days. So that was fun. And then I got sick so that I couldn't walk and I got sick. And it was just like, so I am getting better. I'm better than I was yesterday. I couldn't film anything yesterday. So I am able to film today, but I'm still like blah. And yeah, I'm more annoyed because I had all sorts of plans for December and I feel like it's all just like falling apart. I'm not even sure Vlogmas. I did pre-film a bunch of stuff. So those videos, like my Christmas tree video, that was the few days where I felt normal and sounded normal. And yeah, I'm kind of back to like, at least I'm not coughing as much today. I'm hoping I get through this. If there's cuts, it's probably because I'm sneezing or coughing. And again, I'm just trying to keep it together here. So anyway, we've got a lot to talk about. I have 2 boxes of stuff for the buy. Some of the stuff I've already talked about, so I will go through some of those items a little bit faster. So starting off with these 2 items, I did already mention these in a previous video that I bought them. I think I posted on Instagram as well. So the first thing is the Lawless Dreamy Darlings Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss Mini Trio. I can't find the nude one. But anyway, I did put them back in the box just to like kind of show what they came in. I looked on Sephora and you can still get this, I think, in stores. So I think this still exists depending on where you're located and what stock is in your area. But yeah, they're decent size little mini. They're not huge. Like the Too Faced Pillow Balms are bigger than this, but enough that you're like getting a good use for the product. And I love minis for like throwing in your purse. I feel like they're so much easier. Would I buy a full version of this? I don't know. If I did, it might just be the like plain one. This definitely is a lip gloss. It feels like a lip gloss. It's not as soft and smoothing as like, say, the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Pump or the Too Faced Pillow Balm, but it's got like this really, really intense gloss. I'm actually not wearing it today. I am wearing the Too Faced Pillow Balm in, I want to say it was like spiced cider or something, over top Parker and Iconic Nude lip liner. But yeah, this, like, I have been wearing these in a few videos because they do give like this really high shine effect that looks really nice. I don't feel like this is a plumping lip gloss by any means. Like, there's definitely no, like, it's no Too Faced lip injection. It's not even a Too Faced Pillow Balm that has a bit of a tingle because it's minty. I think where the filler part comes in is this is so reflective and so shiny that it makes your lips look smooth that way. But I'm not 100% sure I would buy a full size. If I did, it would just probably be the Rosy Outlook, just the clear one, because then I could sort of mix it with various different lip liners. That's probably how, if I did purchase a full size, that's what I would do. And then, again, this was the Higher Standards Blush Trio from LYS. Really happy with this purchase. I really enjoy that the 3 colors are very, very different. I get annoyed sometimes when they do like a blush trio or something like this, or like sometimes it's like all in one palette, but the shades are too similar. I feel like you got a good variety of shades here, especially if you wanted to split this up and gift it. It'll work for a lot of different friends and family because the color tones are also very different. Again, I put them back in the box just to kind of like show what the box looks like. I do think this is also still available. I think it's also available online still. And it's a really good value for the money. Like, these are very large products. I think they're 4 grams each. And I think I was looking at the, what do you call it, Rare Beauty one, and that's like 6 grams for a full size. So yeah, I'm not going to go in depth on these guys because I actually did do a video. If I get around to editing it, it's a whole other story. But yeah, really, really happy with these. I'm really glad I purchased them. Did I need another blush? No, I need another blush, like another hole in the head. But yeah, like this one's beautiful. This one's a bit intense, but beautiful. So yeah, really happy with that purchase. And again, good value for money with this set. I also did pick up a MAC Fix Plus Mini and a Too Faced Killer Liner in Sapphire Killer from the cosmetics company store, which is like the outlet store for, I think it's Estee Lauder, maybe? It's the like Clinique, MAC, Too Faced, what other brands were there? A few skincare brands. I think Murad was there. Again, it's kind of a hit and miss selection. Like it's going to be a lot of like one shade of one particular item. They had a lot of Too Faced, like the lipsticks. I almost bought a couple, but then I stopped myself. Like the Cocoa Kiss, I think they're called. In the Lady Bold line. They had all of these liners. They had the like Natural Nudes palette. They had a lot of like good Too Faced stuff. But I did notice, I think they had like Born This Way foundation, but it was just like a sort of subset of shades. It wasn't everything. And I'm not really sure why I bought this. Like, I think I just wanted to buy it to try it, but I remember having this in the past and thinking like the little mini sprayer was terrible. I don't use this as a setting spray. I was using it as like to wet my brush for like an eyeshadow. So that's kind of why I bought this. And I'm really happy with this. I've talked about, again, I did a video on this, so I won't talk too much about it, but I wish there was a few more shades in this. Because I feel like for me, this is a good potential replacement for the Urban Decay 24/7 liner, because I just never see that on sale. And I don't see, like, they used to do like sort of deluxe size kits, and they don't do that anymore. And I really enjoyed those because like, I could use like 3 or 4 different shades, but like, because I don't use those colorful shades all the time, that it's like a nicer size to have, if that makes sense. Because yeah, this was like $17. It was like 50% off. So it was a really good deal to get this at the cosmetic store, because I wouldn't buy this full price. It's way too expensive full price. I also posted this on my Instagram, and again, I do have a video with all these products, trying them on and playing with them, so don't want to like get too much into detail with this, but I am so happy with this purchase. Also super happy because it was 50% off or 40% off. So it was like, it retails for $94 Canadian. I would not pay $94 for this, but I think I got it for $54. And like, it's one of those palettes that I'm having a hard time like putting down and using something else, because like, I just want to keep using it. I want to keep playing with it. I think I've used almost every shade. I'm not sure if I've used this shade yet, but yeah, other than that, and like this, the Petri dish shades, whatever. But other than that, I think I've used every single shade in this palette so far, and I've only had it like, well, maybe I've had it like 2 weeks, but I got sick. I was sick when this arrived, so like I couldn't use it when it first showed up. I do feel like I'm overcompensating with how I feel with my makeup. I just slapped a crap ton of makeup on today, and like hopes that it made me look relatively human and, well, interesting. The eyeshadow palette I'm wearing is the Decay Urban Spectrum Palette with Ice Dream from Colourpop, and then the white shadow for my Pan That palette, if you're interested or curious. The other thing that I did buy on that order was the Kaoli Vanilla 28. So it was going to be like $12 or $15 in shipping, and then, but I was like $25 away from free shipping. So it was like one of those things where the balance, like sometimes if shipping is like $4 or $5 or even sometimes $10, I'm like, I'll pay the $10 instead of spending like $25 to $30 to get the free shipping. And this was a case where getting it instead of paying shipping kind of worked out a little bit better. It is like already changed color, which kind of makes me sad. That means I think this is an older, like it's been sitting around for a while, because I'm pretty sure this kind of is clearer. It's more ambery, but it still smells fine. My sense of smell is off. It's not gone. Both times, so like when I had COVID in November and then this like second rebound, I did have a day where I was like, oh, my sense of smell is pretty much gone. Like it wasn't totally gone, but it was like really, really dulled down, and I wasn't stuffed up, and I was like, oh, that's not good. But then the next day it was fine. This is nice. It reminds me a little bit of the Seven Virtues Vanilla Woods. I'm not sure if I would repurchase this again though. It is sweet. It's a pretty sweet vanilla. And while I do like it, it's not super unique. You know what I mean? I don't know. I might purchase it again. I'm curious about the other scents. Like, so I did want to buy this, actually. This was one of the things that I was looking at. Sorry, it is so dark. Why is it so dark? And it just keeps getting darker, and it's only 2 o'clock. So I apologize if my video is kind of dark. All right, I've shifted a little closer to the window, so hopefully the lighting is a little bit better. Yeah, so I was thinking about purchasing this during the 20% off sale at Sephora in November. Well, I guess it was late October, early November. But every store I went into, these were like empty. Like there would be a bottle there if there was a bottle there, but they were like empty. So I was like, oh, I guess I can't smell it. Speaking of which, okay, I'm just going to rant about this right now, and I will try. I can't make any promises. I'll probably bitch about it again. So I talked about waiting until December for the 20% off sale because I'm just VIB. I only get 15% off, but I can wait and buy some stuff in December. Sephora Canada decided that we weren't going to do a 25% off sale here in Canada. Why? I don't know. I've never, at least all the times of doing this channel, I have never seen that happen with like a common generic sale. Like they did the 20% off the last couple of years. So why they didn't do it this year, I have no idea. There are some times where I see the US Sephora, like I think it's around President's Day. Sometimes you guys get like brand deals, like you'll get some stuff, or like your sale section will have some more stuff than what ours does. Because the most annoying thing is sometimes it will show up in our sales section and then you click on it and it says like product not found or something like that. So yeah, I am super salty, along with every other Canadian that was preparing to buy something during the 20% off sale, not realizing that, oh, we're not going to do that in Canada this year. Why? And thank you for my fellow US people that are like in solidarity, upset for us, because it's so rude. So rude. I mean, I wasn't going to buy a lot, but I had a handful of things. Anyway, back to this. So yeah, I like this. It's nice. It's a very sweet vanilla. And again, very similar to Vanilla Woods a bit. It's definitely sweeter than Vanilla Woods. Vanilla Woods has like an interesting, I don't know how to describe it. There's a different scent to it, which I was not expecting. But yeah, this is like your typical sweet vanilla, which is fine. But again, I'm not sure if I would repurchase this one or just kind of look at something else. Like I definitely have overdone it on the vanilla fragrances this year. Speaking of which, I did in my last month's haul talk about, I think it was Laura Mercier, the set. It was a trio of fragrances. Yes, Laura Mercier. And it had like a amber vanilla, a coconut something or other, and then I keep forgetting what the third one is. It's like a something soude. It's more of like a fresh type scent. And I talked about when I first bought those, I was a little disappointed because they weren't very strong scented, kind of like a little weak. I take back what I said. I've been wearing the amber vanilla, and it's nice. It's got like a more of a spicy vanilla than this one, for example. But it was one of those ones like I do put a lot of it on. It's like a roller ball, so I'm like I'm rolling it on, and then I put it on, and then I was working from home, and I'm working. I'm like, oh, like it was like an hour or two later. I'm like, oh, I smell myself, and I smell good. And I was like, that's the amber vanilla. I think it's called amber vanilla. Yeah, so it's more of like a spicier vanilla, just like a little bit, like a bit more of a musky, spicy vanilla. But it's really nice. And I was like, man, I take back what I said. I was wrong. This is like a very nice scented fragrance. So I've been wearing that one a lot. But yeah, I see myself wearing this one a lot as well. Speaking of Sephora, let's just get this one out of the way. So during Black Friday, this was on sale. Y'all know I talk about this all the time. This is the Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Beta Universal Daily Peel. I bought this because it actually was a way better deal than like if you bought, like even with 20% off. Like I think this was like 40% off. Like it was really good price. You get 10 treatments. So this is like a full year for me because I usually buy one pack every sale. Like I usually buy a 5-pack like in the spring and then a 5-pack in the fall. But yeah, this worked out to be a really good deal. I almost bought another box and then I kind of held off because I've talked about one of the reasons why I don't buy like the big value box, because the big value box is a better deal per pad thing, is because I feel like I need to savor these. Like I don't really need to use them every day. I kind of need to use them in like extenuating circumstances, and I like to keep it that way. I don't want to like overuse these or abuse these. but it's one of my favorite products. You'll be seeing one of these in my empties. And I don't feel like I need, like I've had the extra strength. I feel like this one's just fine. I don't feel like I need the extra strength. Let's recap again something you've already seen. I did do a little Bath & Body Works haul where I bought some minis. And I did buy these mini fragrances. I'm a little annoyed because I could have got these full size for basically the same price, well, a little bit more, because these were $4.75 each, like including taxes. And they had a misting sale, like a fragrance mist sale, fragrance mist sale, and they were $4.95 each for the full size. But at the same time, I'm glad I didn't, because the one that I want in full size doesn't exist. So the Sweet Whiskey, I haven't seen it in a full size. They only have it in the travel size. So there's Sweet Whiskey, Vanilla Bean Noel, which I will say that I think I'm feeling the way I felt before with the Vanilla Bean Noel. I don't really like it in the skincare as much. I prefer it in the room fragrance, like in the, like I have a wallflower or like a candle. I'll use this, but I just don't love it. I think it's my skin. I think I don't love it on my skin. Like it's my chemistry with it. The only one that I would have probably bought full size would have been, other than Sweet Whiskey, is this one, Snowflakes and Cashmere. But do I really need it in a full size? Not really. So I'm happy about those. But I did buy one. I did buy one during the sale. Coffee and Whiskey. I'm like addicted to this scent. Apparently this is a men's fragrance. This is a cologne mist. I'm going to put it on now because I don't have anything on. I love this scent. I'm going to sneeze now. That was a bad idea. I just love this scent. It's like my favorite scent. They do have a Whiskey Reserve cologne, which I was like, should I buy that? I like the scent of it, but it is a little too masculine for me. But yeah, I love this scent. And I picked it up during the fragrance mist sale because I wasn't 100% sure if I'd see this during body care day. And so it'll probably be cheaper on body care day. I'm going to try not buy a backup because it takes me forever to go through these. So let's not buy a backup, but I would want to if I could. And then I did get a couple of hand creams. So I am working on a hand cream in my little final countdown Project Pan with Jen. But I did pick up, again, Coffee and Whiskey, and then this one that's called Restorative. There were some other stuff that I bought, but they're not kind of, like there was wallflowers and some giftable things. So those aren't included. And then the big thing, actually, let's get into one more thing, and then we'll get into this sort of big category. So this was kind of I don't want to say spontaneous. It's been in the back of my mind. And so, like, during Black Friday, I was like, let me see if they're having a sale. Rephr brushes. Does anybody talk about these anymore? Remember, like, 2 or 3 years ago, everybody was talking about these? I mean, Rephr was, like, partnering. They were doing the whole influencer road trip. So, yeah, I was like, let's see what they've got going on. And because I've talked about wanting to buy new brushes. I do have some brushes I should let go of. Actually, my favorite brush set is the set that I got from BH Cosmetics ages ago. I really like those, but I have been really enjoying, I have 2 Sonia G brushes from Lucky Bags, and there's one that I wasn't using because it's kind of a big one, but I've really gotten into using it lately. It's really good for like just dusting a one color on and getting a good blend on it. I don't know, it's just really been working for me. And then I have like a couple Wayne Goss brushes that I like. So I know I like some nicer brushes. So I was like, let's buy these because they were 50% off. This was still like $100 for like 4 brushes because this was a case where I had like 7 brushes at one point in my cart, and then I like pulled them all out and was like, no, let's whittle this down to what I want. So I only got 1 face brush. This was, I think, like a cheek. I liked the shape of this. It was a nice small brush. I haven't used any of these yet. I still need to wash them. Highly recommend you wash brushes before you use them. Same with clothing, although I'm not the greatest for that either. I worked in retail. You really should wash your clothes before you put them on. But yeah, this is the number 37. So again, I'm hoping that I'm going to really like this for blush because I have, again, a similar shaped brush like this in that BH Cosmetics set, and that's like basically all I use now for blush. I like having a bit of a smaller brush to like target where I want the blush to go instead of like a big brush where I'm kind of like being a bit sloppier with it. I feel like a smaller brush is working better for me. I bought their number 1 brush because I thought, like, it's the first one. It's number 1. I feel like you kind of need to have the staple number 1 brush. It's just kind of a little bit tapered, a little bit rounded, but bit pinched. Like, it's sort of like a generic throw a shadow in the crease and blend it out kind of a shade, or brush. So looking forward to playing with that one. And then these two were like definite must-haves for me. One was the flat brush that you use. So this one, they had a couple of these, but this one was like the newer version. This one was like the highly recommended or built with like influencers brush. This is brush 21, and it's like a flat brush that you would use for like shiny shadows. So like how I've got the, sorry, my bangs are driving me crazy. I keep getting like, what do you call it? Like a part in my bangs, and it won't like, I can't fix it. Anyway, so this is great because I love doing like a shiny, you know, sparkly shade on the lid. So this will be like a very regularly used one. And then kind of like the Sonia G brush that I have that's a little bit of a similar shape to this. I kind of like a brush like this to sort of pinpoint a deeper color in the crease and then blend it out so I can put that color exactly where I want it. And this is number 26. So I have a Sonia G brush that's similar to this, a bit more denser, but I feel like this one might be nice to be a bit more like blending. So I'm excited to play with these. Out of the other brushes, there was like maybe, like I said, there was like 3 or 4 other ones that I was like interested in. And I'm like, let's just start with these, and then we'll go from there. Maybe next year I will buy some more, but I'm excited because these are like, again, handmade in Japan, really good quality, but the price was actually really good compared to like, those 4 brushes were probably like over $300 with like Sonia G. So for $100, again, still pricey, but I feel like from a makeup standpoint and a collection standpoint, this is like more of an investment purchase. So speaking of investment purchases, this is where all hell went, all hell broke loose, or where I spent a lot of money this past month. One of these purchases was definitely like full on planned, and then the other one not so much. So the first purchase was The Ordinary. I talked about this. I've been wanting to buy this for a long time. This is the Nude Fractionated Eye Contour Concentrate. I've actually already started using this, so I'm kind of pulling these products in slowly because I want to see how they work for me. But this one's like one of those products, like, look at this packaging. Whoop! And I drop it. But like, how cute is that? Like, it's in this little box. I love this kind of packaging. It's just so fancy and so pretty. And yeah, I'm really liking this so far. Again, I don't know how much it's doing yet. It's maybe only about 2 weeks since I started using this. It's very nourishing feeling without feeling oily, if that makes sense. I don't want to drip any about because it's pricey as hell. So I'm not wasting a single ounce of this. Ounce, speaking of, it's only 35 mils. 35 mils? No, 15 mils. Teeny tiny little guy and super pricey. So that's why I bought it now, because they do their Slowvember, and I think it's like 23% off. So I mean, this is like an $80 or $90 product retail, so that's why I bought it now. And then I talked about missing niacinamide in my routine. I've been using the Glow Recipe niacinamide, so I did pick up a new The Ordinary niacinamide. This is a niacinamide 10% plus zinc 1%. High strength vitamin and mineral blemish formula. I did get the bigger version. This is the 60 mil. I think you can get a 30 mil of this as well. Niacinamide's a funny ingredient because some people, like, it actually makes them like break out and react with their skin. For me, I feel like it just brightens and smooths my skin out. It just makes my skin look brighter, and I don't know, it's one of those things that I missed, and I noticed that I missed it in my collection. So that's why I picked this up again. It's kind of like vitamin C. Vitamin C does nothing for me. Like, I don't notice any difference when using vitamin C, but niacinamide, I do notice a difference in sort of like the texture and brightness of my skin. And then the third product I bought was kind of like if I'm already buying some stuff, it's the Multi-Peptide Copper Peptides 1% Serum. Again, I've been kind of using peptides. What was I using before? There's something I think I just finished up. I can't remember what it was, but it was like a peptide type thing, and I'm like, let's keep going with this peptide kind of stuff. So again, I haven't tried this on my skin yet. I'm kind of slowly incorporating some stuff. This was, I think, the 30 mil. Yeah, this is the 30 mil version. I don't know if this came in a bigger size. So I'm looking forward to using this. I feel like, again, I'm not getting any younger. I'm 43, to think about that sometimes. I'm 43, and I feel like investing in skincare is not a bad idea. So speaking of which, my second box is all skincare from Kiehl's. So I did post this on my community tab that they were doing like a 30%. It was like a 1 day thing, but it was not really, because it was like a 4 or 5 day thing that they did 30% off. I don't know if it was just Canada or if it was in the States too. So this was stemmed from, there was a planned purchase. I was gonna buy the Kiehl's avocado eye cream, because I've always wanted to try it. But then I started poking around the site and I'm like, do I really want to buy that? Or do I want to try something else? So I ended up buying a few things. I spent like about $200. But again, everything was on sale. It was 30% off. So I feel like it was a good investment of things to try. So I bought this eye cream. It's the Super Multi-Corrective. So again, I haven't tried this, but I feel like, again, for mature skin, maybe the avocado one might not be sufficient enough. So maybe we go for something a little more punchy. The other thing that I picked up was the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. So this is just like their regular, this is like their sort of flagship product, or one of them. I have the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream right now. That's maybe about halfway done. So that's why I was like, well, maybe I should pick this up. I went back to when I purchased this last time. I actually went back to my buys and buys from like 2 years ago to see what I said about this. And I was like, this is a sad pan. I miss it so much. I like it so much. I'm like, okay, that's enough for me to know that I should buy this again. The Fab one is okay. I prefer this, and I prefer the Belief like Moisture Balm, not the Aqua Balm, the Moisture Balm, over the Fab one. But the Fab one, from a price perspective, is like better. Like, it's cheaper, essentially. But I do find it kind of, it's almost like cold cream texture a little bit. It's a little thick, which I don't mind for the winter. So I'll probably continue to use that. I don't know if I'll finish it by like springtime. If I don't finish it by springtime, I might just end up rolling this in anyway and then finishing it up like in the fall next year. But yeah, so I haven't opened this yet either. I haven't actually opened any of the Kiehl's stuff yet because, like I said, I'm going to roll in the products. The other thing I got that was expensive, but it was 50% off, which is one of the reasons why I got it. And I've talked about kind of not really getting along with this ingredient, but I want to, so I keep trying it. This is the Retinol Fast Release Wrinkle Reducing Night Serum. So it came in this like giant box, which actually had a sleeve on it, which I realized the sleeve is because it has like the French and English. This is like the American with just English. And it's an absurdly large box for the actual product, because the product is like this. Because it comes with like information and instructions. And the pump, I think that's what this is. Oh no, pure retinol infused powder capsule. So like, again, I don't know how this works yet. I haven't really tried it. You're supposed to, I think, mix that powder into this product. I'm not really sure yet. So this is something, again, I might hold off and start using it in the spring maybe, because I feel like my skin kind of just goes crazy with retinol, and I never get past the like retinol uglies, like where it's like peeling and flaking, and then your skin starts to work nicely with it. So again, yes, it's activated with pure retinol infused powder. So really interested to try this. It was 50% off. Don't know if they're like phasing this out, because it was like higher percentage off than some of their other products. But yeah, really excited to try this and see how it works for me. And then it came with like 2 samples that I got to pick. One was just the ultra pure high potency serum hyaluronic acid, and then it actually came with the night serum again. Another, I think this was like, I don't know if I picked this one or it was like the only one I could pick. But it also came with a little beauty bag, which I love this. Well, anything with skulls, I kind of love. I don't know what's wrong with me, actually. Can you see? Well, you can't really. There's a skull there, and there's actually another skull above it. Anything with skulls, I kind of love. I know, I'm a bit morbid. And this was like a free gift with purchase if you spent over, I don't know, it was like over $65 or something like that, or $95. I definitely spent more than that. And it came with, like, yeah, a bunch of stuff in it. So it came with, I don't even know if I can read these. Print is so small here. Retinol Skin Renewing Daily Micro Serum. This was a mini ultra facial cream, a dark spot solution, which I don't know if I'll keep this. I do have one dark spot that's fairly visible often on this side of my face, so the camera is really having a hard time focusing on me. And then this was the other product that I thought about buying because it's, again, their other flagship product, but I've held off on buying this, but maybe next year. It's the Midnight Recovery Concentrate. I don't know if I've ever tried this before. I can't remember. So again, kind of excited to try that. So like that was a really nice like order. Like, screw you, Sephora. I got a way better deal off of Kiehl's. And I'm really happy about that. Instead of just buying the Kiehl's like avocado cream from Sephora, I got, like, yes, I spent a lot more money, but I got a lot more value for the money I spent. And I feel like, okay, yeah, I dropped a crap ton of money on skincare this month, but I feel like it's investment for, again, aging skin. And I feel like I'm almost set for skincare next year. Like, there's probably, I'll have to buy cleanser and maybe a daytime moisturizer, because that Kiehl's one might be a little too heavy for daytime. But other than that, like, I've covered a lot of categories in my skincare for next year. So that should be a low, at least category up until this time next year for skincare. So speaking of numbers, so I feel like I've been blabbing on forever because that was a lot of stuff. Let's open up our Excel spreadsheet. Should have had it open already. Well, I did earlier because I've already done all my maths. So yeah, this was the most expensive month for me this year. $626.37 with a retail value of $892.65. And I brought in a whopping 27 items. The biggest thing being skincare. I spent $350 on skincare and $160 on makeup. So those were kind of big categories, and it was a lot of money. But I feel like, again, and like tools. So this was, oh, maybe I spent less. I spent this would have been $100, and I spent $63 Canadian on those brushes. So it was less than yeah. So these were like definitely a good value for what they were. The one thing that I'm hiding from you is I actually bought more. It just hasn't arrived yet. I've spent a lot of money this past month. So it's maybe a blessing in disguise that Sephora does not have their 20% off sale, because I really don't need to spend any more money in December. So the things that have not arrived, I'm just rolling over to my December spend because they're not here yet. And until they're here yet, will I include them? Especially the one item, items. The one order, I think it was like November 13th. It's already December, and I still haven't, it's label. It's been labeled, but has not moved at all in terms of shipping. And there's a part of me, it's a bit of a regret purchase. I'm going to say that right now. It's a bit of a regret purchase. And part of me is like, do I reach out and try and cancel it because it hasn't shipped? But is that really going to mess things up if I try and do that? So I don't know. I think I might wait until Monday, because it's the weekend right now. And then if it still hasn't moved, I might cancel it. I mean, I was okay with the order, but it was too much money. I really shouldn't have. It was one of those things that I shouldn't have done. But I was impatient, and I did it anyway. Anyway, we'll get to that when we get to that. So yeah, it was a really big month. $600 out, plus more. Like, it's actually more because everything else got rolled over to December. But I feel like it was good value. Like, again, the skincare was a lot of money. And like one of the big makeup items I don't have right here, it's over there, was the palette. And I'm loving that palette. Like, it was worth the money for me, that palette at $50. Okay, so that's going to be the end of this video. I will do a second video with my goodbyes. Yeah, I hope you liked this video. If you did, feel free to give a little thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel here in Toronto, Canada. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.